Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Webster Mbofwana's YouTube channel. On that lady where it is written subscribe, you can click on like. I told you that this channel is for gospel lessons, spiritual lessons, songs, and testimonies. For today, we'll start with the lesson of Joseph and the brothers. Joseph was the son of Jacob and was born from the second wife of Jacob, who was Rachel. Jacob had two wives, Leah and Rachel. These were sisters. But Joseph was loved by his father. He had the gift of interpreting the dreams. He was a dreamer. They were calling him a dreamer. He did many things. They sold him to the Ishmael. And these people who bought Joseph, they sold him to Potiphar in Egypt. He became a slave. His own brother sold him. They became jealous of him. I want to remind you that, my brother and sisters, people who are jealous of you in your life, they are your relatives, like Joseph's brother. Now, we know what happened with Joseph. Now we find that Joseph is, today I can call him a prime minister in a foreign land. He had a dream, or he interpreted a dream for Pharaoh. It is good wherever you are, use your talent. It is very good and profitable. Wherever you are, never should you forget your God. Joseph was in Egypt, but he never forget about his God. Now, at the opening of the fruitful years began the preparation of the approaching famine, which Joseph said to Pharaoh that there shall be famine for 7 years. I advise you, King Pharaoh, that you store an extra food, for there shall be famine, great famine in the land for 7 years. And because it was true, God was with him, this king hearkened to the voice of this slave. I want to remind you that even if you are poor, if you are sent by God, and when you are talking sensible things, even rich people will shake your hand. Even rich people will bow down to you because God is with you. How can a slave in a foreign land advise the king and the king follow the advice? It is only if God is with you. Whatever you will say, people will know that God is with you, and it is true. Under the direction of Joseph, the slave, the immense and the storehouse were erected in the principal places throughout the land of Egypt, and the ample arrangements were made for the preserving the surplus of the expected harvest. Every year they were putting, or they were saving for the famine, preparing for the famine. In things you do you prepare for the time of trouble? In your Christianity, do you know that there shall be time of trouble? In Daniel chapter 12, verse 1 and 2, going down there, you will find that there shall be time of trouble, whereby those problems, those troubles, they were not before, they will be, but at that time. I want to tell you that now the 7 years of death began to come. Remember that in your life, there are days of happiness, there are days of sorrow. But every time we should prepare for the days of happiness and for the days of trouble, for the days of sorrow. According to Joseph's direction or prediction, and the day death was in the land. But in the land of Egypt, there was a bread. Everywhere there was famine and death, severe famine, hunger. But because Joseph predicted and he told the king, and the king Pharaoh followed the instruction, in Egypt there was bread. I want to tell you that if you are with God, whatever you do, if you are with God, there may be famine somewhere, but in your life there may be bread. There are others, they may be struggling, they may be worried with the corona, but so long you are with God, no worries in your life. Other people, they may be worried because they are not working, but you, because you trust in God, everything you put in God, there shall be no worries in your life. Everywhere there was death and famine, but in Egypt, because there is a man of God. There is a man of God. Remember, the topic is Joseph and his brothers. And when the land of Egypt was famished, and the people cried to Pharaoh for bread, and Pharaoh said unto the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph, what he said to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of earth, and Joseph opened the storehouse and he sold unto the Egyptian. Joseph in Egypt, a slave, he was given a power to decide either to sell today or not to sell. In the life of Joseph, I did not find any corruption, not the leaders of today. They are full of corruption in their lives. You vote for them. Instead of working for you, they steal from you. They oppress you. There was no corruption in the life of Joseph. He had the power and the chance to steal the food from the storehouse and take them to Canaan, but he never did that because he was faithful to God and to Pharaoh. Shall we learn to be faithful in everything we do? You are there on that position not because you are clever, but because God put you for a reason, not to steal, not to oppress, not to speak anyhow because you have authority. No. Use your position to save people. Joseph used his position to save the people. He feared God. You are there. Do you fear God or not? You are there. Do you fear God or not? The famine extended even to the land of Canaan, and severely felt in that place or in that part of the country where Jacob dwelt. This Jacob was a real father of Joseph, but Joseph, because he was faithful, he never took anything privately to his father, because he knew that there are rules and regulation. I shall not steal, because if I steal, God will see me and Pharaoh will see me. Anything will happen. But hearing of the abundant provision made by the king of Egypt to his people, 10 of Jacob's sons journeyed thither to purchase grain. On their arrival, they were directed to the king's deputy. On their arrival, they were directed to the king's deputy, and with other applications, they came to present themselves before the ruler and the land. They bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. I want to remind you that this was called a dreamer, and he was hated by his only brother because he had a gift of dreaming and interpreting the dreams. One day as they were in the field, he said, I was sleeping as we were in the field, I saw stars, moon, and sun. He interpreted the dream. They became jealous over him. They wanted to beat him. Do you think you can be our ruler? Do you think you will rule us one day? He said, no, me, I'm just telling you that I had a dream. It was fulfilled. This time now, the dreamer, here is the dreamer. One day they said in the bush, here is the dreamer. Let us kill him. They tried, they did what they wanted to do upon seeing him. They said whatever they said. My brothers and sisters, they sold him in Egypt. In Egypt, because he was now a deputy. He was a prime minister. He had the authority. They bowed before him, but they never knew him. He knew them. I want to remind you that one day, those people bring problem upon your life. They will come and kneel down before you. Just be faithful to your God. For today, we'll end here. Next time, we'll continue. May God bless you, and please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. God bless you. Shalom, shalom.